Hey everybody, good Saturday night to you. It's been kind of busy for folks across the Southeast. Wanted to get on here and give you guys an update on what's going on with the remnants of Delta now. We just saw our last tornado warning expire for folks in the metro Atlanta area, North Georgia, and areas in South Carolina, nearby Clemson, dealing with a few strong thunderstorms that were capable of producing tornado, and so we had those tornado warnings in effect there. And you can see on the MyRadar app here, still getting some banding features with the remnants of Delta coming through and wrapping up around. They're very thin bands. And there really isn't all that much left to this storm. Of course, at this point, remnants, so not even a tropical feature at this point, but we have these long bands trailing behind the circulation that have been causing the potential for some severe weather tonight. Wanted to get you updated on that. Of course, if you had your MyRadar app handy with the notifications turned on, you've known about these storms here in this area. So hopefully you're doing what you can to stay safe and keep an eye on the weather. Folks in the Southeast throughout tonight, anywhere from the Florida Panhandle throughout parts of Alabama, Georgia, and its Appalachians, should keep an eye out on the weather going on into the rest of this evening. Maybe not so much into the overnight hours, but there still is the threat for severe weather because of these banding features that we've had going on with Delta. So showing you what's been going on for the past 24 hours, the big picture across the U.S. here. There's that feature Delta beginning to fall apart, but that one persistent band taking its time to really fall apart here. Part of that is due to the fact that it brings in that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And so with that, we're just churning up those storms. And as they move on land and really spin up across the landscape there, that counterclockwise motion helps create the possibility for rotation. And that's why we have that expectation to see the threat for a few spin-up tornadoes tonight. I'm going to take you now to the path of this, not even a storm, the remnants of it. This was the last path issued earlier on today. The storm falling apart with 30-mile-an-hour maximum sustained winds. We've seen some breezy conditions for folks that have been in the area of northern Mississippi into Tennessee and North Alabama. But eventually the rest of this weak circulation and this rain and everything will push off to the East Coast, and with that bring the moisture, the heavy rainfall for folks towards the east of this path here. So if you're in the Appalachians, anywhere from Tennessee up through West Virginia, if you're in interior Virginia or the Carolinas, expect some heavy rainfall going on into tomorrow. And for folks across the Southeast tonight, we can expect again the threat for some pop-up tornadoes with the rotation associated with that band. So without further ado, we're going to head to our radar now and start doing a little search and discovery mode here for what we can see. Of course, there were some storms moving through parts of Vermont and New Hampshire earlier up by the U.S.-Canada border. That wasn't associated with Delta. That's associated with a trough that's going to be sweeping up what's left of Delta. And a few severe thunderstorms rolled through that area earlier on. But we just got finished with some tornado warnings in the Atlanta area. Looks like we may have one on there. Let me double check right now. Bear with me. Trying to keep an eye on this with the warnings coming out. It looks like the one there near Belvedere just expired. Nope, we got a new tornado warning for Duluth, Georgia. Includes Lilburn, Georgia, Berkeley Lake until 9 p.m. So we'll go back to the radar here and take a look at that. Again, in these bands, you can always expect to see some spin-up storms. So we didn't see that initially when Delta came on shore, but tonight with that one persistent band that's kind of spread itself out into three, we definitely have seen a couple of these popping up over the past couple hours. Some reports of flights going to Delta, or excuse me, into Atlanta, having to divert because of these storms and the tornado threat that's been through there today. So let's zoom in a little bit closer. This patch of red right here, that's the warning in question. We have a tornado warning that goes in effect until 9 p.m. That's on the northeast side outside the Beltway of the Atlanta metro area near Lawrenceville into Beaufort. So this storm here, we've seen some rotation, and mind you, the radar isn't in Atlanta. It's out of the city limits there, so to speak, in Peachtree City. So with that, the radar is getting a pretty good view in a couple feet up to kind of see this rotation. So the green would be going in towards the radar there, red going away. So we have those opposing winds, usually indicative of rotation. And we have a couple of pockets of green here in the red. I'll zoom in just a bit more so you can get a better look at this and try to see what I'm seeing here. But we've got some green embedded into that red, which tells us we have some rotation. And for that reason, we have the tornado warning in effect again until 9 p.m. for folks here. If you're in this area, if you have some loved ones in this area, make sure that they're paying attention to the weather, they know what's going on, and they're taking cover in an interior room. That's a room inside your home that doesn't have an outside wall or any windows or anything like that, usually a closet or a bathroom in that case. So once again, this goes on until 9 p.m. tonight. So folks in this area need to be weather aware. And in general, if you're in the southeast, Alabama, Georgia, Florida Panhandle along I-10, keep in mind this one persistent band is going to be the culprit here when it comes to the threat for severe weather that we have going on in through tonight. All right, so let's zoom out a bit further so I can show you that band. We have a couple of radars up here to kind of give us an in-depth view across the southeast. So broadly looking at the Atlanta area, this is our velocity product, by the way, that red and green that we look for. It shows us the radar picking up on those wind speeds and directions. So that's how we know which ones are going towards the radar and away. So we have that big contrast. That's where we find the threat for severe weather. So we'll get rid of that. And you can see plenty of rainfall for folks here. We'll pull up some of these rainfall totals, the heavier batches, and shown here in orange and yellow. So by the radar area, the NWS Atlanta, we got over a ½ inch of rain falling per hour here. We had some totals of 1 inch or more falling in an hour near the Atlanta area. So here we're getting just over 1 inch, but up towards near Clayton, Tallulah Falls, we just had a tornado warning expire there. Still getting heavy rainfall for folks into northern Georgia. Not so much in that specific area, about 0.4 of an inch, but it's been tropical downpours at that because this is a band that is associated with what's left of Delta. So with that, it's going to be a busy night for folks here. So we'll zoom back out a bit more and see if we can check out some of the weather in South Carolina. Again, earlier on, about a ½ hour ago, we had a tornado warning for areas east of Clemson. So with that, as these bands push through, that's where we've had the threat for some of these spin-up tornadoes. Doesn't mean there's a confirmed tornado, but it definitely means there's a possibility for one, and you should treat it seriously. So picking up the Columbia radar here, let me get my clicker out here so you can see what I'm pointing out. Yep, so this is the tornado warning that we were talking about for the Atlanta area. This one goes once again until 9 p.m., but not seeing any others here getting picked up throughout parts of South Carolina. Couple heavy pockets of rain up southeast of Greenville here in South Carolina, up to parts of Tennessee. Some light showers moving through, likely to get this heavy pocket of rain that's still north of Athens, moving across the state lines here as we head on into the next hour or so. So again, much more rainfall to come. That's why we had some impressive rainfall totals in the neighborhood of 3 to 5 inches for some folks along the mountains here going into these areas of Tennessee and the interior Carolinas, West Virginia, Virginia. So that's what we're expecting going on to Sunday. The severe weather threat should diminish as we head on into your Sunday, especially as this band really begins to fall apart a bit more and Delta just really loses what's left of it here. So that's good news heading into tomorrow and into Monday as well. So, excuse me. Let's do a little bit bigger of a sweep here and see what is going on for other folks in this area. And this is great news. About a ½ hour ago, we were looking at almost 5 tornado warnings simultaneously happening just to the northeast of the Atlanta metro area. So for things to be quieting down now is excellent news here. Not out of the woods yet, though. Still have that potential threat for severe weather going on into tonight. Moving south of the area down to southern Georgia, not seeing too much going on there. At the Tallahassee radar being picked up, and some heavy pockets of showers into southern Georgia, just to the east of Dothan there. So I'll zoom in a bit more and we'll get some of those rain rate totals just a moment as we zoom in here. All right, let's get ourselves situated. So east of Dothan, Mayhaw, Bainbridge, north of Mariana, and this is to the west of Thomasville. Whoop, my radar is getting away from me. Just a second, let's pull that back over. All right, some of the rainfall totals in this batch Oh, almost, that's 3/4 of an inch of rain per hour. So that's some heavy rain happening there near the state line. This lighter shade of blue that you're seeing here, this in fact isn't rain. It might be some drizzle, but really just moisture in the air getting picked up by the radar, or otherwise ground clutter, as we call it, when the radar beam starts picking up on small particulates. Sometimes it's not even really moisture. It could be particulates. Sometimes you can catch bugs and birds on the radar here, but this definitely is some of the residual moisture and humidity left over in the Tallahassee area, especially since we have these heavier rain showers nearby to the north of Tallahassee, west of Thomasville, and down here into the preserve down here out by the point. And so we'll continue to see these pockets of heavy rain here going into the next couple of hours, something to be mindful of as we head on tonight. If you have to be out and about, if you have some plans, please be careful on the roadways. To get some reports of some flooding out by Pensacola for areas along the bay and the coastline. Some of that storm surge caused some residual flooding for folks there. Earlier on this morning, we had a picture from our Surfline cameras out there. Probably not going to see too much right now. Oh, we can see the waves still picking up there. This is video from our partners over at Pensacola. It's pretty busy out there on the water. Can't see much of what's going on the beach. So, yeah, Gulf of Mexico still turning up as this band, this pesky little band, continuing to cause trouble there. But I also want to show you some more video from our partners at WeatherStem. Damien, he's manning the controls out there tonight. We're going to show you this video from Madison County, Alabama. This is by Huntsville, and I believe this camera comes from the campus. Is this Vanderbilt, Damien? Is that where this camera is located at? See Old Glory there waving around in the wind. Yep, so we got some, what's that? Oh, that's right. Ooh, I got a lot of people out there who are watching this who are going to be very angry at me. Vanderbilt is not in Huntsville, Alabama. It's in Tennessee. It's been a long day, guys. But yeah, so this comes from Huntsville, Alabama. You can see some rain on the lens there and the clouds showing you that big band kind of in the flesh here with the clouds rolling on through. We've got another one we're going to show you. This one is coming from Vanderbilt University. And with the city lights there, it's a little easier to see some of the cloud features out there. We've got that lower deck and then just somewhat broken as we move further up into the atmosphere. So cloudy night for folks there, a bit muggy and drizzly for some folks as well. And it's going to be a busy one here as we head on through the rest of this evening. So as we head on into tonight, make sure you got your MyRadar app handy. We'll try to keep you up to date on all the latest. Catch the fast forecast so you can know what to expect for your Sunday forecast. Just wanted to hop on here real quick and give you an update on what's going on. And just let me check one more time and see if what is going on with that tornado warning for folks out in northern Georgia. Again, that's between Athens and Atlanta, northeast of the Beltway there. That includes Duluth, Georgia, Lilburn, Georgia, Gloucester, Georgia. That goes until 9 p.m. So folks there, take cover, let this storm pass, and keep your eyes out for tonight. Have your MyRadar app handy because we are likely to have a few more storms like this roll through parts of the southeast for the next several hours. But stay safe, guys. We'll bring you another update in the fast forecast, and you can check out what's going on the radar anytime within your app and follow along with us. Until then, we'll catch you guys back here soon.